Hello everyone, Siddharth this side, and in this video we will be solving another question from the list that I have shared with you, and it is hash 923 on lead code, and the question is three sum with multiplicity. So let's read out the question first. So we have given an integer array and an target, and we have to return the tuples I, j, and k such that I is less than j and j is less than k, and the sum of these the element at these index should equals to the target, and we have to, as the answer can be very large, we have to return it by dividing it with 10 to the power 9 plus 7. So let's see how we can approach this question. So I would suggest that you can first try to solve the three sum question, and then you can watch the video that I have uploaded on my YouTube channel, threesome, and then we just have to modify something in that code and we can able to solve that question. And here a prerequisite is that you should have some idea about permutation and combination that you guys have studied in class 11th. So let's see how we can solve this question. So this is let's take this array as an example: 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 and 5 5. So array, let me move to pen. So array is 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 and 5 5. Now what we have to do, we have to count the total number of triplet that are possible, and the sum of those triplet is equals to the target, and we have to return the total number of combination as well. So in the three sum question, what we have done, we have just written the triplet whose sum is equals to target. And the what is different in this question is that we have to return the total number of pair that are possible uh, of these triplets whose sum is equals to target. Suppose this is 1 comma 1 comma 2. Now now what we have to do, we have to count the total see, this is in triplet, but still we have to count the total number of ways that are possible so that we can rearrange these numbers, and uh, that will be, we will be counting as an answer as well. So 1 comma 2 comma 1 is also an valid pair. We have to include this also into an answer. And another one is 1 comma, sorry, 2 comma 1 comma 1. So this is also an valid pair. So now if you have solved if you have solved the question which is three sum, then we just have to modify where we have done the if sum is equals to the remaining part. Now in this condition we have to add some conditions so that we can able to handle the duplicates, and we can able to count the total number of pairs. This is what we have to change in this question. So in this condition, what we have to change, we have to first check if the value at start, the value of the start of the array and value of the end of the array after fixing the outer number, if these two are equal and the array is already sorted, that we will going to do in the start, then we just have to count the total number of pair. Now this concept is like choosing two element out of some distinct element. So this is the concept we have studied in class 11th, which is to choose two identical element from the four identical elements, or n number of identical elements, and the formula is nc2. So nc2 is to choose two element from the n element. So and how we will be using this, we can use this as n into n minus 1 divided by 2. How we have come to this, let me show you. So the formula of nc2, we can expand it as n factorial upon n factorial n minus 2 factorial upon 2 factorial. So this is the formula that we can expand it to. You can, if you forgot about this formula, you can watch some YouTube videos about what is permutation combination, just basic thing you have to see. And now we can expand n factorial as n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 and so on up to 1. Okay, so this n minus 2 factorial is coming here as well. So what we can write it as n into n minus 1 into n minus 1 n minus 2 factorial upon n minus 2 factorial into 2 factorial. Now we can cancel these two numbers. So our formula become n into n minus 1 divided by 2. So this is the formula for the specific case when we are choosing two element from the identical element. So we can use this formula to count when start is equals to end. When the element at starting index and ending index inside the while loop are equal, then we can use this formula to count the total number of pairs. Now in the else condition, what we have to check if we have to check for the duplicates as well. Suppose the element at the start and end are not equal. So this is 1 and this is 2. Let's take a bigger number, otherwise duplicate issue will come. So 1 comma 4 are not equal. Now suppose this the number that is in the front of 1 is 1, and the number which is uh, at behind this number is 4 also. Now how we will be handling this case? So apart from the case when start and end are equal and the array is already sorted, then all the element between those element are equal. So for that we are using this formula. Now for this case, if these two element are equal and their forwarding element also equal, then we can use another formula, which is for every element that we are encountering as a duplicate element, we can pair that with the every element that we are encountering from the right side. So suppose we have 1 and here it is 4. Now what is the total number of pair possible for these two element? It is 1 only. Now if we have encountered two more element that are equal, then the left count is 2 and the right count is also 2. Now how many total number of pairs we can make from these four elements? That is equals to uh, left count into right count. So 2 into 2 is equals to 4. So total number of pairs that are possible from these four elements are 4. So these are the only two cases that we have to analyze, and then we have to code that out. So this is the difference between the three sum and this question. So I would suggest that first you can solve a three sum question, then you can jump on this question, because here just have to take care of this permutation and combination part, and you can able to solve this question as well. So now let's code this out and solve this question. So first what we have to do, we have to make the modulus, because we have to divide a result from that, because the answer can be very large. So int modulus, let's define it first. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7 will going to be 7, because we have to add 7 to that as well. Now let's first sort the array. So arrays dot sort and then nums. So after sorry, it is array not nums. So after doing this, what we have to additionally, we just have to start in for loop. Okay, let me do that. So for int I is equals to 0 and I should be less than nums, sorry, array dot length minus 2, because we have to leave two element in the last so that we can able to found a valid pair. Otherwise, if we will be doing it from dot length minus 1, then there will be only one element will be left, so there will be no possible triplet. So for that we are doing this, and then we have to increment the I counter. And now in the inside this for loop, first we have to calculate the start pointer, then end pointer, and then we have to calculate the remaining part. So for that, int start will be starting from 0 and int end will be start will be starting from I plus 1. So I plus 1, and end will be starting from the array dot length minus 1. Okay, now the remaining part is int. We can initialize it with remaining. That will be a good name for this. So remaining is equals to what should be the remaining one? It will going to be target minus the element which is at the index I, so which is array and I. Okay, so this will be the remaining that we have to calculate from while using the inner while loop. Now after doing this, we have just have to start a while loop while start is less than equals to end. Now in this we first have to calculate the sum. So for the sum is equals to the element which is at the index start and the element which is at the index end. So after doing this, after calculating the sum, we just have to check for the condition. So if this sum is equals to the remaining, so let me check the spelling first. Okay, it is right. So if sum is equals to remaining, then what we have to do, we have to check for the additional condition for handling the case when start is end is equal. Then we have to choose two element from the identical element. Sorry, otherwise we have to check for the check for the case where there is duplicates element present in the remaining pair, remaining element. So after doing this, so if the element is nums start, sorry, let me do this array, not nums. So element at array start is equals to array end, then it is the case where we have to choose two elements from the identical elements. So we first have to calculate that n number, which is in the nc2 formula. We have to calculate this n. So for that, you can use this formula, which is int count is equals to start end minus start plus 1. So this is a generalized approach to calculate the between elements between any two numbers. If you have given 7 and 1, if you have given 7 and 1, if you want to calculate total number of elements present between these two elements, that will going to be 7 minus 1 plus 1, which is 6 plus 1 is 7. So total number of elements that are present between these two number will going to be 7. So not 7, I think I have done a mistake. That is end minus start, so which will going to be 7 minus 1 plus 1. So first we have to add this. So this will going to be 7 minus 5, 7 minus 2, and it will going to be 5. Now you can count that as well. So 2, 3, 4, and 5, then 6. So these five numbers that are possible between these two numbers. So this is in generalized formula. Now after doing this, we have to after calculating the value of n, now we just have to apply the formula. So for that we have to add something into an result. So result uh, plus is equals to, now what we have to add into an result, let's see. So count n into n minus 1. So it will going to be count into count minus 1, and we have to divide it as well. So let's do that first as well. So count into count minus 1, and then we have to divide it by 2. So let me draw another bracket here. So after dividing it with 2, then we will be having a result. Now after adding this to result, we will be having all the count of the possible pair, or we can say we have chosen all the elements. We have chosen two elements from n identical elements. Now after counting this, we have to consider another case where start is not equals to end. So let's do that as well. So else, in the else case, the element at start index and the element at end index are not equal. So for that case, what we have to do, first we have to initialize and left count, that I have already told you. So we will be starting it with 1, then int right count, and that also we will be starting from 1. Now what we have to do, while start is less than end, start should be less than end, and the the value at the start index is equals to the value at 1 plus start plus 1 index. So this is the case where there are duplicates element on the side of the array. So in that case, what we have to do, we have to first increment the left count, so left count plus plus, and then we just have to increment the start count as well, so start plus plus. Now this is the case where we are handling the duplicate value from the left side. Now we have to do it from the right side as well. So if while end is greater than end plus 1, sorry, end minus 1 is greater than start. So when this is greater, and also another condition is the value at end is equals to the value of array end minus 1. So let me do a double operator. Okay, so if array of end is equals to array of end minus 1, so if this is the case, then we just have to decrement the right counter. So increment the right counter and decrease the end pointer. So right count plus plus, and then end minus minus. So after doing this, we will be handling the duplicate case as well. And now we have to add the result as well here also. So for that, uh, first we have to count the total number of pair that are possible after after adding these two, multiplying these two number, left count and the right count. So for that, either we can directly calculate another variable and store the result, or either we can directly store the result into the result variable. So, and here also we have to update the result as well. We have to divide it with the modulus. So result modulo with modulus. So this will divide the result with the modulus value. And here also we have to do the same. So for that, first we have to increment the result with result plus is equals to left count into right count. So right count. So let me initialize in bracket here as well. So result, we are adding left count into right count. Now we just have to divide the result as well. So result is equals to modulo with modulo variable. So this will be dividing the result. So now in the end, what we have to do, we just have to decrement the counter and increment the counter if sum is less than or greater than the uh, remaining value in those cases. So else is ending here, while is ending here, else is ending here, then this is the bracket where we have to else if sum is less than the remaining value. If this is the case, then we have to increment from the left side, so that we can increase the sum. So for that, we can do start plus plus, and in the else part, we just have to decrement the end counter, so end minus minus. And after doing this, in the end, we just have to return the integer value of the result. So int, let me convert it to integer and result. Okay, so first we are sorting the array, then we are initializing in modulus variable according to the condition that we have given in the question. Then we are starting from the uh, I plus 1 element by fixing the first element from the outer loop. Then we are calculating the remaining sum by subtracting it from the element at which is present at the ith index. Then we are initializing an while loop that will be calculating the duplicate for us. Now after finding that duplicate which is equals to the remaining, we have to check for the certain conditions. And those condition are, first, if the element which is at the first element at the starting index and ending index, if they are equal, then we first have to count the total number of elements between these two index, and that we can calculate using this formula. And then we have to calculate the result For that we are using this formula, result plus is equals to count into count minus 1 and divided by 2. Then we are dividing the result by modulus value. So this is the first case, and in the second case we have to initialize two variable, which is left count and right count. Then we have to check for the duplicate value. For that we are calculating the left count and right count, and then we are updating the result by calculating total number of valid pair using this formula, and then we are dividing the result with modulus as well. Okay, so now we can run this question of check if there is some issue. So okay, first is this, then here also there is one issue. Okay, so we have to initialize the result as well. So result is equals to 0. Okay guys, so the issue is we haven't breaking out from the loop. Here we have forgot to, after like counting all the possible pairs, we have to break it from the loop as well. Then in the modulus value we have taken wrong. Here we have given 10 to the power 9 and we have taken 10 to the power 7. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, we have to increase 8 and 9, two zeros here. And then we have to increment the start counter, star plus plus and end minus minus. We have forgot this also. And another issue, this is not equals to. So now we can like try to run this question and see. Now let's try to submit this question as well. So we have successfully solved this question. See you in the next video. Bye.